So we've just had a panel there about it was lotteries claiming their stake in the regulated US marketplace. Now, what do you think are the objectives for the lotteries, and what products are they likely to launch in this iLottery situation?
Well, in Illinois at least, it's legislative. So there's an iGaming bill that is part of a much larger gaming bill that would allow a division to be created under the lottery that would be, in essence, the regulator of iGaming. And I think they envision that meaning, what does the regulator really want? So it could be a wide range of potential games, but it would be actually run by existing gaming licensees. So every existing gaming licensee in Illinois, every casino, every horse track would have an opportunity to be part of this whole family of iGaming purveyors.
Okay, and also one of the points that came up was, how can lotteries stay relevant and approach these younger players? Is that through online? Is that the best way of going about it, do you believe?
I think that's a much larger question. It's a marketing question. It has very little to do with iGaming in terms of multiple kinds of games. It has more to do with how do you buy a lottery ticket, and if you can buy a lottery ticket in the way you are buying everything else, hopefully the lottery will offer games you want to play with prizes you want to win and assure you that the money is going to something that you believe in. So I think that's a marketing play, not really an iGaming play.
Sure, and do you think, with Illinois already selling lottery tickets online, have you seen an upsell in the amount of tickets being sold as a result of moving online?
Well, we had an original interface which was not conducive to playing, and people rejected it in droves, but we have reintroduced the interface last November, and we're seeing a significant uptick, as you say, in terms of people who are playing and people who are registering. I think when we get to the perfect marriage of an interface that allows you to play over your cell phone through 4G, and you don't have to spend $5 per game, and we do correct marketing to support it, and we have a very large grand prize, I think you'll finally see the promise of iGaming among young adults, because that's really how they play. I'll give you an example. This is normally when you have a very high grand prize in the lottery business, something over $250 million, $300 million, the media gets very interested in it, and then I'm called to meet media people at lottery retailers and do the standard story about how much money it is, and they then interview people and they all say, oh, I'm going to win and here's what I'm going to do with the money. This time I asked the public relations people to schedule interviews with me at coffee shops where there's Wi-Fi, where you could actually play Powerball for the first time at a significant grand prize using your cell phone or using your computer. And I walked into one of the coffee shops in Evanston where I live, and I said, hey, listen, how many people know that you can play this how many people would play Powerball at $320 million? And everybody raised their hand. I said, how many people know you can do it with your computer or your cell phone? Not a single person knew that they could. And I said, well, there's going to be a TV crew here in a few minutes, and they're probably going to ask somebody to play. Is everybody willing? And everybody except one person raised their hand. And it was like a one-person sales machine. I got 99% acceptance and play, but it was a communication problem, not a product problem.
Sure, and as you say, a product problem there. One of the things that came up was, moving these scratch-off cards online. They could start to look very much like online slots. Do you think is that a real worry for the lottery industry?
Well, as I said in the panel, this is a major public policy question. The public policy question is there's lots of things that a lottery can do. There's lots of things a lottery could do over the internet. Is it the right thing to do? Is it going to cannibalize your existing player base? Is it going to cannibalize sales from your bricks and mortar and just bring them over to the internet? And those public policy questions are probably what are foremost in the minds of lottery directors when they think about this, as opposed to the technology, because the technology is there. The question of whether or not an ability to play an instant ticket rapidly online is similar to the slot machine experience, I don't know. I'm not a casino gambler.
And one of the points that was raised is, with the state-by-state regulation that's happening throughout the US at the moment, lotteries were very opposed to a federal legislation. How is the state-by-state legislation working better for the lotteries? How is it a better fit?
Well, this is more of a constitutional question in the United States, and that is that the states have their rights and the federal government has other rights. And traditionally, gambling has been a state's issue, except for sports betting, really. And the question was whether or not the states should give up their right to regulate their own gambling environments to some federal bill which would tell them what their gambling environment would be surrounding iGaming. And that's the question. It's a constitutional one as opposed to something more prosaic.
Sure, and finally about the conference itself, the tagline for Gigs this year was "Flip the Switch." Mm-hmm. Do you feel that America is ready to flip the switch to iGaming, and do you feel that this conference and the people at the conference are having the right discussions and the right networking to really inform themselves and move forward with it?
Well, I can't speak for the rest of the people, but I was at Gigsy last year and this year, and given the fact that we are one of the only state really that's doing internet sales of lottery tickets right now, and we're a state that is has legislation that could expand dramatically, whether it's under the gaming board or with the lottery, the iGaming sphere. It's really important for us to learn and understand and to be able to make good business decisions based on what we think legislation should reflect or what regulation should say. And this kind of conference allows someone like me or my staff to, in just a couple of days in one location at relatively very little expense as opposed to visiting them all, get a great deal of information.
Great, well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.